Hello and welcome back. This is a special extra episode of Johnny the Greeks for Your Real Estate. This is episode 20. This week I am joined with Lamont, my good friend from Twitter, the commish of many excellent leagues that I'm in, including Free Agency Frenzy, Hella Sauce League. He's a contributor to Dynasty Vipers. Used to have a huge Twitter, then Twitter screwed him over, but now he's back, so we're reintroducing him to the world. Lamont, how's it going?
I'm doing great. How are you doing, John?
Good, man. Good to have you here. We've been trying to schedule this since like the Carter administration.
I'm sorry. It's my fault. I just kept postponing it. I'm a huge procrastinator, but I really wanted to get this done. Like better late than never. Even though it's at the last second, like literally. But I appreciate you for being so patient.
No worries, man. Dude, I'm happy we got it done too. I'm still chasing a couple other guys, so it is a okay. And yeah, season's right around the corner. But let's get started with the typical disclaimer. This is a free fire zone. I'm probably going to swear at some point. Lamont might swear at some point. Keep that in mind. If you have kids in the room, consider headphones for themselves or for you. With that being said, yeah, man, what have you been up to this off season? What have you been getting into?
I've just been like trying to stay busy. Um, the past year, I've been involved with like a lot of stuff in the Hollywood nightlife industry. So I'm kind of like a VIP host and coordinator for lots of nightclubs, and I'm really like focused and concentrated on that at the moment because I have a full schedule, and that's a big reason why I've been so busy with and haven't been able to do the podcast and stuff because our schedules just don't you know align properly. That's why sometimes I would text you at like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning at my time and be like, you're 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning your time. I was see if you would be available for the podcast or not. But yeah, I do lots of like cool stuff for like nightclubs and stuff because I used to be and I still am involved in like the cannabis industry and for like 18 years or so, and I used to party a lot, so I would spend a lot of money in the clubs and buy bottles and everything like that. But then when the pandemic happened in 2020, everything like closed and locked down, and all the clubs and everything had closed, to where so many people who worked in the industry had left the industry because they couldn't afford to live anymore. All the places that they worked at were closed. There were venues that closed down, shut down for good, and I kind of saw this as a transition for me to possibly enter the industry, and instead of being a spender, you know, be like a vendor or someone who can contribute and stuff. So the transition worked really good because one of my best friends is he's like really well known and really well established in the industry, and he's kind of taken me under his wing, and we see like lots of crazy stuff, and like it's kind of like a blessing. Like some people that I have on my fantasy teams, I'll see them in the clubs and stuff, and it's just like league winning people, like, and then you'll see them in the off season, like for or even for example, this past off season, what happened? The thing with Tariq Cohen.
Oh yeah, yeah. The he got injured again. Yeah.
Yeah, so he did what was the injury? Was it a torn Achilles?
Oh, I think it was. Yeah, because he's gone for the season again. Yeah.
Yeah. So I that happened midweek. I think it happened like on a Tuesday or Wednesday, and he ended up. I saw him in the club later on that Sunday.
Oh
So
wow.
just the little things that like that is just kind of crazy, because I don't know. It's kind of cool to see, but and I'm getting to meet like a lots of cool people, like because I get lots of referrals and stuff. So say like one girl who comes out with me and who I know now, she's like a professional sports photographer, So I'll go on like her social media and stuff, and then it's just all these incredible pictures of like college sports and professional sports and stuff like that. So it's just like I don't know, it's kind of like opening up to like lots of different things besides not just like nightlife and partying and stuff. To I don't know, I'm hanging out with athletes and musicians and everything, and it was kind of crazy too because a couple months ago, a few girls came to the club with me, and they were with my favorite team is the Chargers. They were with a defensive back from the Chargers.
Oh,
And yeah, but the club didn't know who he was, and they were trying to charge him and stuff, and he didn't want to pay, so he didn't end up coming in and stuff. But these are like the little things that I like. I'm just like, it's kind of like mesmerizing for me because 10, 15 years ago, like I would have never thought this would happen, you know. So
yeah.
I'm trying to actually build on it, you know, and I'm actually starting a new party that starts this Sunday because football season starts this week, right? And
Yep.
it's going to be a football party from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. and it's going to be in Hollywood. And one of my good friends has asked me to be a part of it, a partner of it, and it's going to be emphasized and revolve around fantasy sports, fantasy football. So I created 4 fantasy football leagues for this party, and we're going to start inviting people and start, doing all types of like little giveaways. I'm going to try to like invite people from Yahoo because a lot of Yahoo people actually live in LA, and I'm going to try to say, hey, you want to come host, and maybe do a podcast over here, this and that, and I'm trying to pave a way and create a lane for fantasy football um, in Hollywood and in LA because a lot of people don't play fantasy or don't even know what fantasy is. But the second that they play, they get hooked, and it's $1 billion industry. And if we bring it into LA, into Hollywood, it could be the beginning of something like incredible, So that's what
Yeah.
I'm focused on right now.
That's awesome, man. And that definitely covers what you got going on now, what you do for a living. Let's rewind a little bit. So I know you're not from here. Like your family emigrated here. We've talked before. We speak outside of Twitter pretty often. So how did you become a American football fan, and how'd you land on the Chargers?
Okay, so when my parents moved to America from Bangladesh in the mid '80s, I was born in '87 in America. I'm from Southern California, so I grew up. I wasn't born in Long Beach, but I grew up in Long Beach, and I still lived near the Long Beach area. And as a kid in the early '90s, I was in park leagues, just like for basketball, baseball, and football and stuff like that. And they were just like, just nothing like too intense or crazy or anything. But I loved sports and stuff, and like I would always root for the team that I was on, like in the park league. So say like if like I was like 7 years old and my team was like the Cowboys. I was like a Cowboys fan, say, hey, go Cowboys. I didn't know any better or anything like that. So like as when I was growing up, I was like rooting for the Cowboys, and then the following year, my team was the Packers at the Park League. So I was like, okay, forget it. I'm okay. Like I'm gonna root for the Packers and stuff. I didn't know any better. I thought that there was like okay my teams and stuff. But then I realized I took a break from watching sports like throughout high school and stuff, and then when I was 17 years old, my best friend Brandon and I, we were just like, we were seniors and stuff, always hanging out, and we just really loved what was going on with the Chargers because we would watch football all the time. And this was in 2004 and 2005, and it was during the Schottenheimer era. And
Ooh,
this and Ladainian Tomlinson was there,
right.
and yeah, it was it was pretty amazing, and we just like fell in love with the whole, like the way they got down. It was just all it was pretty they're pretty it was a pretty gnarly team back in the day, the Chargers, about almost like 20 years ago, and what Ladainian Tomlinson was doing, it was pretty incredible. Um, I don't know, you didn't really see a lot of running backs score that many touchdowns and catch that many passes and do all types of stuff. And I don't remember when he broke that record. What was it, the 30 something touchdowns? But this was around like probably 2006, 2007. And it was just pretty incredible to watch. And I don't know, I just thought Sean Heimer was a great coach, and they were always winning. And they were very close to going to the Super Bowl. I think it was in 2007, but I can't remember who they lost to. I think they lost to
Oh,
the
is
Colts.
Patriots in AFC title game. Rivers tore his ACL, but he played on it and did okay, actually.
Okay, yeah, yeah. And I think they also went at it with the Colts the previous year or something, right? And then the Colts played against the Bears in the Super Bowl.
Right. Yeah, that was like '06. Yeah.
Yeah, so they were going. they were going pretty deep into the playoffs around that time. But I'll tell you this right now, I'm very well known for not being a Philip Rivers fan. I don't like Philip Rivers at all. Um, and people are they trip out on that. They're like, "Are you serious?" I'm like, man, that I had to watch that guy for 10, 15 years, and it was pretty like it was it was stressful. And I'm really glad that we got Justin Herbert because that guy is a whole lot different.
Dude,
Yeah,
yeah, so no, yeah, you know what? Let's get into that then. So, how do you think the season's gonna go for them? And what do you think about the division just loading up, dude? So you got the Raiders go get Devontae Adams. The Chiefs retool their offensive line and add some pass rush and make moves in the draft. That whole Denver, Russell Wilson, like that division's loaded. How do you think the Chargers doing there?
I don't know. It's going to be a bloodbath though for sure. Um, I'm just gonna say, you know what? Like we're gonna make the playoffs because we're pretty stacked in so many levels on offense and both defense, and then we also have depth. Like say J.C. Jackson, we just got J.C. Jackson from the Patriots, and he I don't know how many interceptions he's had in the past 2 seasons, but it's been a lot. He might be leading the league in interceptions total for the past 2 seasons, but he just had ankle surgery, and he's gonna be out for about 2 to 4 weeks. But we have, I think, is it Mike Davis is the backup?
Yep,
But
and Asante Samuel Jr., who's nasty.
yeah, so we have Asante Samuel Jr. who's going to like definitely make a big leap this sophomore season, and he
Yep.
did good as a rookie. So it's going to be pretty good. I'm not too worried, and I know we're going to make the Super Bowl. I mean, make the playoffs. I wish we could make the Super Bowl because that would be amazing. But like, I'm just going to be like arrogant and say, yeah, well, we're going to be Super Bowl bound, because when you think about it, it's nuts, dude. Like Austin Eckler, he scored 20 touchdowns last year, and he's just as long as he stays healthy, we're gonna score a lot of touchdowns through him because he's a touchdown scoring machine. And we got some depth in the running back position now with Josh Kelly's doing better. Isaiah Spiller got drafted, and now we just got Sony Michelle. Now, a lot of people don't think that Sony's that great, but I think he's really good. Especially like if you look at his yards per carry, like he's pretty efficient and stuff. And I'm also saying that too because like we arguably might have like one of the best offensive lines in NFL now because it just keeps improving and it's actually finally starting to work. So say like in 2021, we drafted Rashawn Slater, 13th overall, and he was incredible. He's like almost considered like top tier elite borderline, around there. Like PFF had gave him a grade of 83.6, and as a rookie too, and he only allowed about 4 sacks. And we got Lindsley from the Packers last year too, and he was ranked like the second best center in the league, right behind Creed Humphrey, which is pretty crazy too because the Chiefs are so good at drafting. They got Creed Humphrey in the second round last year, and he was a rookie. And he was they like overall, like if you look at multiple sources, he was the best center in the NFL. But then right behind him, they had Corey Linsley. So I'm very confident that he's going to have another good season as long as he stays healthy. And PFF gave him a grade of 85.7. And we drafted a guard named Zion Johnson this year, 17th overall, and he only allowed 6 pressures. He's from Boston College. He only allowed 6 pressures in 2021, and supposedly they've been thrilled with his efforts during the offseason, and he seems like very pro ready. We also have Matt Filer, who's a top 15 guard in the league. He came from the Steelers last year. So when you just got like all that stuff going on at the offensive line, like you win in the trenches. That's what I totally believe in. And then you gotta look at the other side too, like Khalil Mack.
Yeah.
We got Khalil Mack now, and he used to be like considered like elite, like one of the best defenders in the NFL. And maybe he was just in a wrong scheme in Chicago. But when you got Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa on the other side, that's that's going to be dreadful for every single quarterback that they play this year. And yeah, it's just I'm really stoked on seeing what's going to happen at the line. Hopefully, Kenneth Murray does pretty
Mm,
good. He's been struggling like crazy. Derwin James got his contract and stuff like that.
yeah.
And I don't know if people know this, but Troy Reader, you know Troy Reader
Yeah.
from, from the Rams, like
Yep.
we got him, and like that was like a great value pickup because he's like a tackle machine. I don't know if people realize that. Um, like say for example, um, it was in 2020. He played about he didn't play a lot of games in 2020 with the Rams. So say there was about 7 games he played 0 defensive snaps, right? And then there was another game he only played 6 defensive snaps, and then there was another game he only played 18 defensive snaps. So basically, Troy Reader only played he he basically didn't play 9 games out of 2020. Do you know how many combined tackles he ended up with that season?
No
He
idea.
ended up 81 combined tackles, even though like he basically missed like 9 games. So if you look at it, like towards the end of the season, he was a starter in 2020. So he had 15 tackles, 10 tackles, 7 tackles, 11 tackles, 11 tackles, and 6. So if they give him like a starting position, he's just gonna be an incredible tackle machine, and you should keep him on your radar for IDP leagues because I think he'll be pretty incredible.
Yeah, I'm with you there, man. There's definitely room for him with the way Murray's been struggling. Let's that's a great point to transition here on. So how'd you get into fantasy first of all, and then how did you get into IDP? When did that happen, or how did that happen?
I got into fantasy almost like 12, 13 years ago in 2009 because like I would hang out with all my friends. Like, we would, like work and stuff like that. And they were just like super heavy into like sports and stuff. And I think they probably just needed somebody to join their league. And I joined the league and they kind of taught me. We did a live draft. I had no idea what I was doing really. I think I drafted Josh Jacobs and stuff. No, not Josh Jacobs. Brandon Jacobs. Brandon Jacobs, right? The
Oh, from the Giants.
Giants. Yeah, I had no idea what I was doing and stuff. And then in 2010, I joined another league, and it was just during a crazy time. It was when Michael Vick had just like came back into the league too, and I had Deshaun Jackson on my team, and it was pretty interesting. I got to see like everything get put down, like in numbers wise. Like you could watch the game and then like, oh wow. And then this was back in the day, like before PPR was like really like a thing and stuff because everyone was still doing a lot of standard leagues in 2009. And one of my best friends, he's like kind of like a math whiz. So and then he would just always like we would have like high school classes, math classes together, and he would always do good. And I would ask him like, what? How do you like? What is your thing? Like, how do you do so good in fantasy? He's all 70 yards and a touchdown, man. 70 yards and a touchdown. That's all I do. 70 yards, and I was just like, wow, like, and then and then and then I looked at him. And I was like, is it really that simple? Is it really that simple? Like, is there just one way? But then there's that famous saying, there's more than one way to skin a cat. And the thing I love about fantasy is there's a million different ways to win, or there's a million different ways to look at it. And that's like that's the beauty about like fantasy. Just you could do standard, you could do PPR. Now everyone's doing 3 wide receivers. I've even transitioned to one thing to where I've implemented a position as running back or tight end, because running back and tight end has such a scarcity in the NFL, and there's a boom in the wide receiver position right now. And about a decade ago, my good friend LT invited me into his league, and he had 2 defensive back spots and 2 linebacker spots. And I was just like, "Oh, this is nice," Like I need something different. I'm tired of this whole entire like standard, just normal stuff like that. It was kind of like extra spice into the meal. So I was just like, okay, um, like I really enjoyed it because I realized that if you do get really good IDP players, they can carry your team, and it's a great way to strategize and do this and that. Like we did a couple drafts yesterday, right? And there's IDP players getting drafted in the third and fourth round. And me, I don't do that. I'm not going to draft players that early and stuff, but other people are. And that's just the beauty of it because there's so many different ways to win. And so, yeah, like I think it was in 2013 when I got introduced to IDP. And it was just amazing because it was a great year for me IDP wise because I only had to start two linebackers. It was like a basic one. My two linebackers were Paul Puslusny and Kiko Alonso.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and Kiko, I think he was a rookie that year in 2013, and he had about 159 combined tackles. So as a rookie to get 159 combined tackles, I was just like kind of like like I was thrilled about that. And Paul Puslusny had 162 combined tackles that year. So it was just like every single week I would just see just bonkers amount of points from them, and I was just that's when I kind of fell in love. And then I would just every single year it's getting more and more and more and more. And I realized that there's three levels of IDP. There's basic, medium, and heavy. You're in the heavy leagues, you know what I'm saying? And I'm so far I consider myself as a medium type of IDP player. I'm trying to push it back into the heavy, but you're part of my best ball leagues on the sleeper app, right? And
Yep.
some of them are very heavy IDP with
Oh
high
yeah.
scoring, lots of positions and stuff like that. So like, and it's teaching me a lot about just like everyone in the league. I'm learning about the draft. I'm learning about like risers and stuff. Just lots of underrated stuff. Like I remember last year, I was asking you questions about Kyle Duggar and Jordan Brooks. Like in the summertime, I was like, "Yo, what do you think about this guy?" You know what I'm saying? Like I would ask you about Jordan Brooks, and I was like, "Yo, I think Jordan Brooks is gonna have a really good season because he was one of the first linebackers that got drafted and stuff." So I just like he might have a bounce back year, and that's what he did. I don't how many tackles did Brooks have last year? I have no freaking
Oh
clue.
God, it was more than 150.
Yeah,
That's for sure.
I just I just love linebackers, man. They're just freaking amazing, dude. Like watching them run around all over the field, like watching Roquan Smith and Devin White and stuff like that. Watching Luke Kuechly back in the day, it's pretty insane. You know what I'm saying? You have to appreciate it too because like all they do is just hit people all the time. That's all they do. You gotta be a bulldog to be a linebacker. So I don't know. I'm looking forward to watching tons of my IDP players go off this year.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Yep, it's and I'm with you. You definitely I think you might be in the heavy. You know what you're doing, no doubt.
Thank
So
you.
okay, so when you're not working and you're not running the million different leagues you got, which, we'll get into those because you got some great league ideas. What else do you do for fun? What other hobbies, any other sports you play in real life or fantasy? What else do you do?
Man, I party, man. I like to party a lot. That's what I'm saying. That's my thing. And like I said, I've been involved in the cannabis industry for like I'm 35 years old, and I started when I was like 17. When I was a senior in high school. Like I'm kind of like from the streets a little bit. So it's just I've always felt like I've always been such a hard worker, and I work nonstop all the time. But my life has literally felt like a vacation my whole life too. So I'm blessed. I'm happy right now, and right now, like I've always felt like for a living. I always do what I love for a living. Like it. And right now, I'm involved with the whole nightlife industry right now, and it's pretty incredible. Like I'm learning a lot, and I'm just trying to. I want to get back into like working out and exercising, and getting healthy and stuff like that. Like challenging myself. Like oh, I'm gonna do like 1,000 push-ups this month, 2,000 push-ups this month, or something like that. And just stay focused. I want to challenge myself and push myself for goals because I don't know, man. I'm starting to look at life a little bit differently now. Um, they say I don't want to drink this month. You and I, you text me a lot. You know what I'm saying, and like I drink a lot and stuff like that, and You tell me, like, dude, you're too talented to be doing all that shit and stuff. So, stay focused and like, you're on a mission. You got stuff to do. So I told myself I'm not drinking this month. Unfortunately, I took a shot on Saturday night because someone offered it to me, and I couldn't. I was like, bro, I'm not drinking this month. Then he was like wasted. He was like, yo, just take this. I already poured it for you. I said, okay, fine. Just don't tell nobody. But I don't know, man. I just and like I said, I want to like I want to make my dreams into reality. And now I have an opportunity to create my own like football party, my fantasy football party in Hollywood. Like this is all the stuff that I do. And this is starting this Sunday, so that's what I do. For a hobby, just trying to actually like create nothing out of something. And I'm happy, man. And fantasy football too is it's my passion, dude. Like I was in the club last night working, doing your drafts. I was just like literally just with my phone, just for 3 hours. Everyone's like, "What is he doing? Why is he staring at his phone?" I was like, dude, I was. By the time I was done with the drafts, I was on like 3% battery. That's what I was
Jeez.
telling. I was like, Johnny, keep me up to date on this stuff, dude, because because I was running around all day long and stuff. But then as soon as the drafts came, I was like, all right, I'm on it and stuff. But yeah, man, that's what I do for a living. Just what we do for what we do every day. Just freaking football, fantasy. It's nonstop, dude. You see by the playoff challenges that we do, the best balls that we do. Like it's all day long and stuff. So I don't know. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I do.
No doubt. All right. So, I mean, you already mentioned Luke Kuechly. Who are some of your other like favorite guys? Like when you first got into IDP, like your favorite early guys.
Honestly, I cannot remember too much about like the past, like the early stuff. I really don't know. I've been disappointed a lot with my past IDP picks. I guess you could say I would have to think about it just a little bit more. But like
Yeah.
recently, like I'm more like just um, or I could say people that I really appreciated, like Jared Allen.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that guy was amazing. You know what I'm saying? I
Right.
don't know if I was playing IDP. Maybe I did have him and stuff like that. But that guy was like just nuts, dude. And like he played 187 career regular season games, and he had 648 career combined tackles and 136 sacks. And he had like 7 consecutive seasons with double digit tackles, and then like 101 sacks. 101 of his career sacks came in those 7 seasons, and it was just like pretty incredible to watch. I would hear about him a lot too because one of my best friends is a Viking fan, and yeah, I really like Calais Campbell too. It's just like I'm more of a person who likes consistency.
Mm.
Like people who just like are playing every single year. They rarely miss any games, and they're always putting up like high floors. And like I like Luke Kuechly, like he was amazing and stuff like that. But like he had how many years of dominance did he have though? 5 or 6 due to injuries and other things.
Yeah, because he had the concussion issues, so he did miss some time. Yeah.
Yeah, and when you think about that, like I'll say this right now, like when it comes to like one of my favorite guys that I've watched in the past decade and who I consider on my Mount Rushmore, based on like consistency and what I've seen, it's like Bobby Wagner, because Bobby Wagner is just he's always been on the Seahawks. He's got 10 straight seasons with 100 plus combined tackles. He has like 819 career solo tackles, and then he's played in I think he's played in 151 career regular season games, and out of the 151 career regular season games, 125 of those games, he's played in at least 98% of the defensive snaps. 98% of the defensive snaps, 125 games out of 151 games. That's dude, he's always on the field. Now I love that kind of stuff, dude. I think Bobby Wagner is like one of the greatest ever. And also like, we're watching Aaron Donald right now,
Yeah.
and for the past 5, 6, 7 years, I don't know, he's been amazing. And Yeah, I would say those guys for sure. Yeah, but then also, um, there's people I wish I would have watched back in the day, uh, when I was younger, or like I wish I was playing IDP when I was watching these guys. Like say, like how I said I was a fan. I became a fan during the Schottenheimer era.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we had people like
Oh,
Donnie Evans,
right, and Sean Merriman, yeah,
Junior.
guys like that.
Yeah, and like say like Junior Seau, he had rest in peace. He passed away, right?
Yeah, yeah, but he was incredible. Yeah.
Yeah. He had 1,847 combined tackles. That's pretty amazing. And Donnie Edwards, he had 740 combined tackles during the Marty era, and 740 combined tackles during 2002 to 2006. That's a lot. And he was like pretty freaking incredible. And Eric Weddle was
Yeah.
amazing. The dude came out of nowhere last year and won a Super Bowl.
I
Like,
know, that was great for him, man. I always liked that guy. That was good stuff.
yeah, and if you look at his stats, like Eric Weddle is just he's pretty up there when it comes to total tackles. He has 1,179 career combined tackles, 6-time Pro Bowler. So that's someone who I really appreciate too because he was on the Chargers as well.
Yeah, okay, so how about instead of looking at the past, who you got for some sleepers this year? I know you got a few. We're in so many of these best balls that are like 70, 80 positions deep. Who you got for us?
Man, like I don't know, man. Sleepers sometimes because we were supposed to do this a while ago too. So my sleepers aren't even sleepers anymore. But I I I really like Nick Bolton on the Chiefs. I think he's just a tackle machine. And when he was when I considered him a sleeper, he was going like outside of the top 20 linebackers. But now I'm looking at rankings right now. He's like almost hitting like the back end of the top 12 linebackers. I think I looked at Fantasy Pro rankings and he was their linebacker 16 the last time I checked. Where do you have Nick Bolton ranked at?
Oh, I don't know. I don't do rankings.
Where do you
LB2.
no? How good do you think he's gonna do?
Probably pretty good. He'll clear 100 tackles. It depends what the Chiefs do. Like last year, they actually let him play a little bit, but that's not traditionally what they do. So I want to see it a little bit more before I believe it.
Okay, okay, okay. Uh, the Eagles got some good linebackers. Kaiser White, he went crazy with the Chargers last year, and I don't know why. I think someone went down. Maybe Kenneth Murray went down, and he just had to replace him and stuff. But he earned his contract. He's with the Eagles now, and T.J. Edwards is just he's a sleeper, man. I don't know why nobody like pays attention to him. And like Alex Singleton did so good in that system as well. I don't even know if Alex Singleton he might have gone undrafted. I think Alex Singleton was an undrafted player. Um, he might have had like 130 combined tackles last year. He started off a bit slow and then he picked it up. Now he's on the Broncos, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Alex Singleton, they gave him a great deal to where he might be their main middle linebacker with I think Josie Jewell or something. Uh, but I think he's going to be a great sleeper. For defensive end, I love Gregory Rousseau. I don't know if he's a sleeper anymore, but he might be considered like a value pick. Because like last year, he might have been a first round draft pick in 2021, but he had 50 combined tackles last year. 42 of them were solo tackles too, so that's pretty incredible. And he had 4 sacks and 8 tackles for losses. And he only played in about half of the defensive snaps for the Bills. So I calculated it and I think he played a total of 49.35% of their defensive snaps. So he's probably going to play like a total of 70 to 80% of their defensive snaps as a rookie. I mean, as a sophomore, because he's not going to be on a snap count. So I think that he's just going to be really really good this year. Um, and then he's just very elite against the run. You know, and man, he embarrassed the crap out of Pat Mahomes last year. I think it was Pat Mahomes, right? Do you remember that? Like
And
he just swatted it and then just like picked them off and stuff. It was pretty amazing, dude. He had a really good year against them. And who else do I like? Jalen Phillips. I'm
yeah.
Jalen Phillips on the Dolphins. I don't know. He's just like he doesn't. When you watch his film, he doesn't seem like the fastest guy, but his wingspan is pretty incredible. And he had as a rookie last year, 42 combined tackles and 8.5 sacks. And I think he's like a prime candidate for double digit sacks this year. So I'm kind of high on him and stuff. Uh, there's a couple other people too. Pete Werner of the Saints.
Hmm.
Yeah, he's a linebacker. He was drafted 60th overall in 2021, and he had 62 combined tackles last year, and he played in less than 25% of the defensive snaps in 8 of the games last year that he played in. So say like in 8 of those games, um, these were this was a snap count in those 8 games: 24 snaps, 20 snaps, 20 snaps, 19, 14, 14, 4 snaps, and 0 snaps. So his snap count is definitely going to go up this year, and he's like one heck of a hustler if you watch his film. Um, I think Nazir Adderley is pretty cool, a safety for the Chargers. He always gets close to like 90 plus tackles. Uh, he got 99 combined tackles in 15 games last year. Tyson Campbell for the Jaguars, cornerback.
Yep.
Yeah, nobody thinks about that guy. And if you think about it, he was drafted 33rd overall in 2021 by the Jaguars. That's borderline first round, right? He was the
Right.
first pick, basically the first pick of the second round. So he's incredible. I think people should really pay attention to him because he had 73 combined tackles last year, and he only played 15 games. For a cornerback, that's pretty incredible. And he's always going to be on the field, I think. And the Jags have a below average offense, so he's always going to have opportunities to be on the field and make plays. And probably my last guy I would say is a sleeper that I'm banging the drum for. Uh, Safety Grant Delpit,
Mm.
Browns, because he was the 44th pick in 2020. The Browns don't have a good offense, so they're not going to be on the field a lot. The defense is probably going to be on the field a lot. Um, I think he missed his rookie season. I'm not too sure. Did he?
Yeah,
Okay, and
yeah, he had injury issues, and yeah, I've seen even Mike Wallert was saying he's going to be the starter this year, and
wonderful.
Mike's forgotten more about the Browns than we'll ever know. So yeah, it's a good call.
Okay, okay. And like he had 66 combined tackles in 15 games last year. Um, and then he only played a total, I think, 61% of the defensive snaps in all the games that he played in. At 9 games, uh, 9 of the games that he played in last year, he played less than 60% of the defensive snaps. So hopefully, and that's the whole thing. I look at defensive snaps, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're a starter and if you're a stud, you're gonna be like 80%, 90%, 100% of the snaps and stuff. So when I'm looking at these guys who should be on the field at all times, and they're literally half of the games that they play are within the 40 to 60% snap range, that just automatically clicks in my head that hey, you know, go for these guys. They're sleepers. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna get a lot of tackles. They're gonna do great. And Grant Delpit he's very talented. So hopefully he's a bounce back candidate. So yeah, that's
Nice.
really my sleepers.
Yeah, that's a solid list right there, man. Okay, so if you had to make like a Mount Rushmore, so you get four guys, they can be any four you want. The four greatest IDP players on the planet. Who are they?
I feel like that's tough. I really don't know. Okay. So we're gonna just go ahead and say Aaron Donald because what we're watching right now is just freaking incredible, dude. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? And, like he's he's going to the Super Bowl twice. And sometimes you just like for the defensive tackle position, like in both fantasy and reality, he just does some incredible stuff, and he doesn't miss games. And like they double team him all the time, it doesn't matter. Just I think he's pretty incredible. He's such a stalwart and just like if you have him on your IDP team, like it's just like an anchor. You know what I'm saying? Like you're good right there. You don't have much to worry about. And I would go like I said, like I I just started playing IDP for like the past decade, so I can't really
Yeah,
go.
no, it could be modern guys. That's fine.
So I'll go with Bobby Wagner again, because I love consistency, and I think that I don't know. He's if you look at the most combined tackles and stuff like that, or the most solo tackles, he's up there, dude. You know what I'm saying? So a couple more successful elite seasons, he's gonna be like towards like the top of the list of like most combined tackles of all time or most solo tackles of all time. And if we really want to go like old school with it, let's go Reggie White
Ooh, okay.
Packers. You know what I'm saying? Because he was incredible, dude. He has 1,111 combined tackles and 198 career sacks. And I think that's just pretty incredible. His rookie season was in 1985 with the Eagles, and in his rookie season, he got 100 tackles and 13 sacks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's pretty good.
and I'm pretty sure he won a Super Bowl, right? And I think he did. Did
Yeah, with the Packers, I believe.
Yeah, yeah. And so
Yep.
he's up there for sure. The fourth one, honestly, dude, the fourth one would be pretty much a kind of a blank for me at the moment. Um, I really wouldn't know for the fourth one, to be honest.
That's
But
all right. We got three good ones.
yeah, but like or say like Charles Woodson and Rod Woodson, those guys are incredible too. Like and underappreciated guys. DeMarcus Ware was crazy.
Yep.
Like but they're not Mount Rushmore or anything like that. But yeah, Junior Seau, Bobby Wagner, Donnie Edwards, like those guys, like because I'm a Chargers fan as well too.
Yeah, you got to have the homer picks in there. Absolutely. All right, let's shift gears to predictions. Let's get you on record. Let's start with who's going to the Super Bowl and who's winning this year.
I really, man, I don't know, dude. That's a little bit tough right there. I'm gonna go super homer with it and say that the Chargers are gonna go far, and as
Ooh,
long as they don't deal with any injuries, they might go to the Super Bowl because you win in the trenches. Like their offensive line is studly, dude. And I just Justin Herbert is just incredible. He's just all walk, no talk type of player. He's having like he's already had two incredible seasons. They're saying like he's the next like Tom Brady-ish type of player, And last year he had 5,000 passing yards and 38 passing touchdowns. His rookie season, 4,300 passing yards, 31 touchdowns. I just think that he's really good. We have so much depth at running back. Our we have rookies that are just sophomores that are going to do better. Like say, I'm not too sure if Trey McKitty is a sophomore that he's going to do better this year. Josh Palmer is going to improve this year. He's our wide receiver. Hopefully, Mike Williams, and Keenan Allen will stay healthy. We just got Gerald Everett, and they're raving about Gerald Everett right now. Derwin James, just I just love what's going on over there. Hopefully that they could just survive the AFC West, and if that happens, we'll be totally fine. But
yeah. Who they playing?
uh, hold on, let me check. Well, definitely they're gonna have to play what the Broncos,
Oh, I
Chiefs.
mean, if they get to the Super Bowl, who's going for the NFC?
Okay, do you want me to like be bold about it
No,
or
dude, it's your prediction. There are no pitchforks and torches if you're wrong. No.
okay? I don't know why we should just be like Niners or Packers every single year because they're literally like right there, right? They're
Yep.
always in the NFC like championship. They're just like almost there. Um, freak. Let me see. Um, wow, wow. Okay, let's twist it up a little bit. Uh, let's go Vikings.
Ooh.
Vikings, yeah. And like another guy that came out of nowhere who might be a sleeper too was that DJ Wanham guy for the Vikings, the defensive end. Yeah, he really stepped it up last year. But I mean, the Vikings they got Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen. Uh, just I love KJ Osborne. Irv Smith is back. Who's the guy that passed away, man? Rest in peace to him.
Oh, I'm not sure. They got Dalvin Cook too. They got decent defense. Yeah, they got some guys, no
Yeah,
doubt.
yeah, and yeah, they got a high powered offense that I just from the looks of it, they seem pretty well rounded, and they're in a very bad division. I'll tell you that right now. Like the Bears, they're not good at all. The Lions are average at best, and the Packers are very questionable at the moment. And then you look at the NFC South. I mean, do any of those guys look too promising right now too? Like the Falcons
Bucks.
are rebuilding, but the Bucks have like their offensive line is falling apart very fast too. I have to like be a little bit worried about that. Uh, NFC West, of course, yeah, they're very strong too. But if I wasn't to pick the Vikings, I'm like this is my bold prediction that I've been saying is the Eagles, the Philadelphia Eagles, because they have one of the best ranked offensive lines in the league right now too. Jalen Hurts is just like I very vastly underrated. I think he's gonna push for 4,000 passing yards and 1,000 rushing yards. They have they're very successful in the run game as we saw last year, and the addition of AJ Brown just is going to make them more dynamic. Dallas Goddard is elite. He just needs the targets, and I think he's going to make that huge leap this year. Uh, man, who was that? Who's the first rounder that they got? Jordan Dave.
Oh, Davis, the defensive tackle. Yeah.
I hope he has a really good season and stuff too. Uh, and their linebacker core looks great. With TJ Edwards and Singleton, uh, and once again they are in a very struggling division as well. You got the Commanders who are questionable. Like nobody really has too much faith in Carson Wentz. They don't even have faith in their running back. They have one alpha wide receiver, no tight end over there. Then you have I know you're a Cowboys fan, but the Cowboys like they're
They
questionable.
suck. I know.
They
You
question
don't have to remind me.
their offensive line, every single thing. And nobody has faith in Zeke no more. And this going to be it's going to be tough for them. And the Giants are going to always be the Giants. They're with that. Well, like I don't even have to explain that. So the Eagles, honestly, like they might easily win the NFC East, and with the momentum and if freaking everyone's on the Jalen Hurts hype train and stuff like that, they might just like get lucky and get a bye week or maybe win the first two games and just get lucky in the playoffs and boom, hit the Super Bowl or something like that. And that would be like actually some a decent like put some money on them to go to the Super Bowl or at least the NFC Championship because the odds for that, like I don't know, man. If it happens, you could probably make some money on
Yeah, no doubt. I like it. It's an original Super Bowl. I've heard Bills, Rams about 40 times doing this, so we'll take
it.
that.
How often does that happen though? Like it does. This repeat or they're the favorites to repeat. Come on, man. That's Tom Brady who does that. You know what I'm saying? And maybe Patrick Mahomes who does that. But like outside of that, dude, like even when we saw the Seahawks be dominant a decade ago, like they made it to two Super Bowls and that's it. Like you don't see people like maybe the Bills and stuff, but I don't know if Josh Allen goes down, that's going to be havoc for them. But
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
No,
uh,
no doubt. Let's get you some other predictions here. I know you got your draft coming up. So, linebacker one, who at the end of this season, who's the linebacker one?
hold on. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. I like Devin White, man. I mean, bro,
Ooh,
I cannot stop drafting Micah Parsons and Devin White. Those
yep.
guys are amazing, like and you just read the reports about Micah Parsons. Like it was just a few weeks ago, like they were lining him up everywhere. and like scrimmage games and stuff like that. And they said that they just like lost track of like how many times he was sacking the quarterback. And I was looking at like advanced defensive stats, and those guys like had over 100 blitz attempts. And you're gonna say like LB1, so I'm gonna pick Devin White because I just love that guy. That guy is a freaking amazing. He's like lightning fast, and he shows no fear. But I would say Devin White. Yeah, I'm very confident in him this year.
Nice. Okay, that's a good answer. How about a defensive end? We can lump in those like pass rush linebacker guys, like the TJ Watt guys. We'll just say pass rusher. Who's the best pass rusher at the end of this year?
Well, I would say like Micah Parsons. But I'm gonna go Joey Bosa, because Joey Bosa is just amazing right now, and like shout out to his brother too. I think his brother came back from ACL injury last year, right? And got 15 and a half sacks. That's incredible. But I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, no, no, no. I'm actually I'll go with Nick Bosa. I'll go with Nick Bosa. I'm not gonna go with Joey Bosa. I'm gonna go with Nick Bosa because yeah, dude, he's just incredible. Like after coming back from that ACL tear in 2020 and doing what he did, it's pretty gnarly. And I think that like he's very early and he's in for another good season. Because last year he had 52 combined tackles, 15 and a half sacks, and four forced fumbles. So like yeah, I'm gonna go with the young. He's the younger one, what? Right, Nick Bosa.
Yeah, yeah, by a couple of years. Yep. Yeah. No, that's a great answer. How about I mean this one's obvious, but give me someone beyond Aaron Donald that could be the defensive tackle one this year.
Jeffrey Simmons,
There you go.
Titans. That guy is so underrated. Like man, and I think that's a big reason why um, those linebackers on the Titans. I think that's a big reason why they do so good. Like Harold Landry but Harold Landry just tore his ACL, right? Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. Like Jeffrey Simmons at the front, just he's so hard to maintain that the linebackers are able to succeed over there. And people forget like he was a first round pick in 2019 by the Titans, and so say like he's just he he played all 17 games last year. He had 54 combined tackles and 8.5 sacks, 12 tackles for losses. So yeah, I would probably go with Simmons to be honest. And another underrated guy is Quentin Williams, but I'm gonna go Simmons for sure.
Yeah, no, I love that. That's a great answer. Okay, this one, I know the Chargers homer in you wants to say Derwin James, but is there anyone else besides Derwin James that could be safety one this year?
Jeremy Chen.
Ooh, okay.
Jeremy Chen. I like he was very inconsistent for the most part in the beginning of last year. But I mean he's good, man, and a lot of people overlook him and stuff. And he's still ranked as like one of the top five safeties to draft this year. Uh, so like and he's been in the league for only 2 seasons, and he's had a total of 224 combined tackles so far in his career. So he's going to be guaranteed for north of 100 combined tackles. And you got to look at the Panthers' offense. Like it's questionable, it's weak, and if you look at their schedule too, they're going to go against a lot of pass happy teams. So it's going to give Jeremy Chin a lot of opportunity to rack up some fantasy points.
Nice. Yeah, okay. I like that answer. And then the hardest one, cornerback. Who's cornerback one?
AJ Terrell of the Falcons.
Ooh.
I love that guy, dude. I love, and I like this guy is a freaking monster, And I don't know how many games he's played so far. Let me see.
He missed a couple last year, but he still finished in the top 5 or 6 corners overall. Like if he played those games, he was corner one last year.
Yep, yep. And so like he missed 2 games in 2020, and he missed 1 game in 2021. But I mean, as a rookie, he had 74 combined tackles, and last year he had 81 combined tackles. This is a guy who could get 100 tackles, and it's just about to be his third season, and he was drafted 16th overall in 2020 by the Falcons, and people said that was a steal. So everyone obviously knows that okay, this guy's pretty dang good. So I'm gonna go with AJ Terrell because that guy's a tackle machine and he's very fun to watch. So yeah, and also the Falcons' offense questionable as well. You know, they're not a lot. Of, you got to also look like is that team? Do they have a strong offense? You know, how much time is that offense going to be on the field? You know, and the Falcons they don't look too great. You know, so I'm just going to give AJ Terrell lots of time on the field to do his thing as well.
No doubt. I'm with you, man. Hey, and just give me like a 5 minute warning when your draft's coming too. I'm just gonna accelerate to light speed here.
Okay.
Uh, what are some of your favorite movies and TV shows?
Oh man, okay. So my movies have like always like interchanged. Like I'm not a movie guy anymore. I have really been off my movie games since 2009. I used to collect movies like crazy. I had like over 200 movies and stuff like that. But then, when the Netflix stuff started happening and Hulu started happening and everything, I was just like, all right, what's the point of like buying all these movies when they're on Netflix and stuff? It doesn't make any sense to me. But
Right.
I try to be different. Like when I was a kid, like I would be like, oh, my favorite movie is like The Big Hit with Mark Wahlberg or something like that, or Desperado. Like I love Desperado,
That's a
bro.
great movie, dude. No one knows about Desperado. That's a great movie.
Yeah, it was so nuts, dude. But then
He's
I
got he's
love
got a guitar case filled with guns, and he
dude,
just walks into bars and shoots people. It's incredible.
watching that as a kid too. You were just like, oh my gosh, this guy is so badass, bro. Like he's on a mission. And then at the end of the movie, you find out it's like the guy who was going after was like his brother.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, that's one hell of a twist. And then just the whole thing, like him having the guns and hitting under his sleeves and stuff. It was
Yes.
so incredible. Like okay, so like I said, I've been in the cannabis industry, so I've always been hustling ever since I was like a teenager and stuff. I used to always like hide things in my sleeves, and I got that from the Desperados movie and stuff like that. I would have like, and I would have a group of homegirls. Like when I was 17, there was three homegirls. They used to call me Sleeve because they thought it was so funny how I always hide stuff in my like it'd be money or this and that and stuff, and I was just like, "Ooh," just like that, and then like, oh, that's funny. But besides the point, I'm sorry, I get off topic a lot. Oh, dude, I used to hide stuff in my. You know how people would like cuff their jeans at the bottom? I would hide stuff in there. Okay, but besides that, I love trilogies, man. I love trilogies and prequels and sequels. So like I can watch like Lord of the Rings over and over
Ooh.
and over again, and I can watch like The Matrix over and over and over again. Those are just some great stuff because I just like that's what makes me love TV shows a lot too because you get to grow with the characters.
Right.
I want to grow with the characters. I want more than 2 hours, and I want a prequel. I want storylines of stuff. So you like, and that's why I think why so many people love Star Wars too, because they did the trilogies and then they came out with more, trilogies and this and that and stuff like that. So it's for that for the most part, I'm on my just anything that comes with like a set of films. But for TV shows, oh man, I love TV shows. My favorite TV shows, I love The Wire. The Wire, I think, is like the greatest show ever. Of course, like everyone thinks that too. It's about almost 20 years old too. Um, I I love Boardwalk Empire. I think HBO
Oh
makes
yeah.
great shows.
Oh,
There's just
HBO is incapable of making bad TV. They just can't do it. It's all good. Yeah.
they it's like they don't rush themselves. They go through a process. If it's not good enough, they're not going to dish it out. They're it's, some people
Dude,
are okay with decent quality. That they're not Netflix. Netflix, I can't watch Netflix shows. I'm
right.
sorry.
Netflix is garbage. Dude, you got to watch Tokyo Vice. That's what you got to watch.
Dude, I haven't turned on my TV in months. I've been so busy, but I have to jump on some new stuff.
HBO show about the Yakuza in Japan. It's
Yes,
right up your alley. It's
I'm down
beautiful.
with that. I'm down with that. But I love TV shows because I love TV shows that literally like they change the way I look at life and they change the way I think about things. You know what I'm saying? So say if you watch The Wire, like I can relate to a lot of stuff about The Wire and everything. Um, but they changed the way that you just feel, as a person. So say like a couple of my other favorite TV shows are like Lost. Have you ever watched Lost?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen some of it. Yeah.
Amazing, dude. It is. It's changed the way I look at life in general and stuff. And I grew up. You get to grow with the characters. They involve religion and just like science and stuff like that. And all different types of stuff. Like any things that you just learn, in school and in life and stuff like that. And also, The Walking Dead. Oh my gosh, man, The Walking Dead is different. Like I binge watched The Walking Dead, so I didn't watch it from week to week, and I sat in just in a room for like a week or two straight, and I would just watch. I was like, dude, like I need help right now. I'm literally like I just felt like it was an apocalypse. I was living in an apocalypse, right? And but dude, it just made you just think about life, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like in The Walking Dead, like everyone they lose their families. You know what I'm saying? So you have to adapt and adopt. And a lot of people were like when the apocalypse happened, I had to watch my dad die. I had to watch zombies eat my brother. I lost my sister. I lost my wife and stuff like that. But then they would form new families. You know what I'm saying? And it was just crazy the way that just like the perspective on it. And it's just like they went through so much crazy stuff, but they just were like ready to start a new life. They're like, okay, what happened in the past happened in the past. You cannot live in the past though. You have to move forward because if you live in the past, it's either eat or get eaten. And that's just how it is. And The Walking Dead, man, that what they did, like it's not how it used to be anymore. But the first few seasons, so intense, dude. And another underrated show I will say is Grey's Anatomy. Grey's Anatomy, man, that is a roller coaster of emotions. Very underappreciated. That had me tripping. That had me tripping like crazy for sure. Yeah.
Okay, that's a great list. All right, how about this? So if you won the lotto, what are you doing tomorrow?
What am I doing tomorrow?
Yep.
Uh, I'm gonna pursue my dreams. I'm gonna I want to open up a fantasy sports restaurant. I'm gonna do some crazy stuff, dude. I'm gonna create a lane for fantasy sports. I want to buy like 10 or 20 houses and rent them out. You know, I'll do all types of crazy stuff. I have too many ideas, dude. I'm involved in a lot of stuff to where I'm trying to mesh it all together. I'll open up my own nightclub. I'll just do whatever it takes and stuff. If I won the lotto, I'm just gonna reinvest all of it and just take over and just like turn my dreams into reality because it's slowly happening, man. I'm telling you, dude. Like I just it anything that you put your mind to and work hard at it, you can do it, dude. Like if you say you're gonna go ahead and do 4,000, 5,000 push-ups this month, you can go do it. If you say you're gonna go run 100, 200 miles, dude, go ahead and do it. Like it doesn't matter how many times you fail, just get back up and what a lot of people are gonna see is how consistent and how determined you are. And I don't care how long it takes, but I'm gonna get there no matter what. So I don't know, man. Yeah, I'll probably open up a fantasy sports restaurant because I just think that's something so different and dynamic. And I could do what I love for a living. Like I could literally just walk in and just go to like the corner, have a podcast booth, boom, just start talking daily fantasy, this and that. You know what I'm saying? And just like maybe hit up an analyst who lives in LA or somewhere near, like, hey man, come over to the restaurant and stuff and do a live podcast. Or just like start creating like freaking like daily contests where people will come in and set daily lineups and stuff like that. And that's how they meet people. Man, it's this fantasy stuff is crazy, dude. Like I said, dude, I'm from Southern California, so I was in Huntington Beach a couple of days ago. And I was at this really fly bar. It's called the Sandbar, very classy. Pulled out my laptop at the bar, studying fantasy sports, watching. It was Saturday, so it was college football, beginning college football, and then there's these three guys to the left of me, and they're like, "Yo, you're studying for your fantasy draft, dude." And then I was just like, yeah, and then he's like, they're like, how many leagues are you in? And I was like, I'm in 20 leagues. And they're just like, what? Are you serious? I was like, I do this, dude. I do this. And then they just get so intrigued. They want to be my friend. They start asking all these questions. They start showing me their lineups and stuff, dude. It's like nuts, dude. And then even like the bartenders are listening to me. They're like, dude, why does this guy have his freaking laptop out, like nerding out? You know what I'm saying? But everyone loves it. So these three guys are just asking me all these questions, and they leave the bar. 5 minutes later, this girl walks into the bar, sits right next to me to the right of me. And then she starts talking to the bartender because I guess apparently she knew the bartender. And they start talking fantasy. And he starts saying, how did you do with your draft today? And she's like, I don't know. Like, I think I did okay. And because it was her first fantasy draft ever. And she was just like, started talking about it. She's like, I was so nervous. I had no idea what I was doing. And the bartender was like, well, you're sitting next to an expert right now. And just messing around. And so I just started laughing. And I was like, dude. And he was like, I'm sorry for throwing you under the bus and stuff. And she just looked at me. She was like, so what are you like, are you an expert? I was like, no, I'm a junkie. I was like, I just love fantasy. Like I'm crazy. So, like, is that why your laptop is out? So she showed me her team. We start talking for 30, 45 minutes. I tell her about my life. She tells me about her life. I give her my number, my information. She's like, I'm gonna text you about fantasy. You know what I'm saying? If I ever have any questions. And her team was amazing, man. Her team, she had no holes in her roster. I was just like, and that's what I just love about fantasy, dude. Like it's such an incredible icebreaker. And
Yeah.
it's I've seen some people like talk crap about it, and the next year they'll talk more crap about it, and the next year they'll talk more crap about it, and then the next year they'll finally join the league and they'll love it, and then the next year they'll finally join another league, and they'll probably end up with in 3 or 5 leagues, and then the next year they end up creating their own league. It's just nonstop, and it builds and builds and builds. And I literally like I have best friends now that I met through fantasy. Like people I've never met before, like in person. Like we've never met before in person. But we know each other. We talk to each other every single day, and that's just how it is. And I don't know, man. It's just a blessing, and I'm just gonna continue to build on this and stuff, dude. Like, and even if it's not fantasy football, like I can talk. I do fantasy baseball. I hate fantasy baseball. I'm not even gonna lie to you, but I love fantasy basketball and fantasy hockey because I understand it and I'm so good at it. So like I'll sit down and even if someone doesn't watch football, they're like, oh well, I watch basketball. Oh, do you play fantasy basketball? Heck yeah, I play fantasy basketball. Oh, who's on your team? It's incredible, dude. It's just such a way to like meet people, man. There's two industries, two industries where I just see people just click fast and they just bond. The bond is so strong and easy. It's been cannabis and fantasy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just like
Yeah.
I. It's a blessing. It's a blessing that I've been involved in these two things.
I love that, man. That's good stuff right there. You're a passionate guy. That's why we get along, I think, because we're both fucking degenerates when it comes to this stuff. There's no doubt.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
dude. Like I don't to everyone who's listening to this, like we get crazy when it comes to this fantasy stuff. Like if you check out our best balls are on the sleeper app and they go 50 to 100 rounds. So Johnny, you were in the one that was 115 rounds, right?
yeah, yeah, and that's not even the craziest thing we do. You came up with that free agency frenzy idea, which I've talked about on here several times,
Yes,
and
dude.
and I stole your idea and went with a more insane version of it this year.
I, it, it's a blessing that you created your own version of it. That's what I want people to do. I want everyone should have their own free agency frenzy league. And to those who don't know what the free agency frenzy league is, it's basically a league where there's zero or only one bench spot. At the most, there might be two bench spots. But the concept of it is to basically draft who you think is going to just ball out all season long, kind of like a best ball type of like idea, and also just to be ballsy and gutsy about how you get down. You know what I'm saying? Like you're going to have to drop players. You're going to have to
Yep.
strategize your bye weeks. You're going to have to figure some things out. And it's just like there's been years where like I dropped Keenan Allen and Zach Ertz when they were balling, dude, and I had to do it to win those to win that league, to win that week, and then people would scoop them up right away. I've dropped Darius Leonard or Shaq Leonard,
Yep.
say a couple years ago, someone dropped Jonathan Taylor. Someone dropped Jonathan Taylor because he was not doing good. And then everyone had talked about it. His remaining schedule was a cakewalk. It was very easy. And I was looking at his remaining schedule. I was like, I'm about to pick up Jonathan Taylor and win me a lot of games. And I did the same with CD Lamb, too. He went off, I think, like week 17 or 18. I think it was week 17. And it's just like, these are the type of guys that you pick up off the waiver wires in the free agency frenzy. I'm talking, and there's been times where I picked up AJ Brown, just and then they would go off. So the free agency frenzy, like I highly encourage everyone to start a league or join a league that's something like that. Create a league that has zero or only one bench spot, and then just go all out because that is the most like stressful league ever. And if you
It's
win,
great. It's how you grow. Get
yeah,
outside your comfort zone. Do
yes,
something that's going to put you through the meat grinder, and then when you come out the other side, you're a better player.
yes.
That's it.
drop
Yeah.
drop an elite player, go throw up about it, go puke in the toilet because it made you so sick, and go get right back to work. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what we
Yep.
do. And it's amazing, man. And also like yeah, if I could somehow like have fantasy football parties evolve, free agency frenzy evolve, or even these very deep best balls where IDP evolved. Like I don't know, man. I feel like I did something. I feel like I did something right. And I don't know, man. I just love fantasy, dude. I'm just so happy about it, dude. Like we met through Twitter. How crazy is that? And
I
like
know.
we're
Yeah.
buddies, bro. Like we text each other all the time, and it's just I wish my Twitter never got suspended because like a lot of crazy stuff could have happened in like last year and stuff. But hey, man, it's time to put my foot on the gas and get right back to it and stuff, dude. I really
That
appreciate you for helping me out and always supporting me and always tweeting about me and stuff like that, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like
Oh,
we're
dude,
forever.
I love you, buddy. You know that, and I've kind of been up your ass the last couple of weeks just trying to get these drafts going. So I apologize for that, but we're getting close here. Hey, how much time do I have before your draft? I want to see how many questions I can get in here.
Uh, 5 minutes or 3 minutes, 3 or 4 minutes.
Okay, let's do two quick ones, and then I'll plug everything for you. So, what's something hard you've overcome, and what did you learn from it?
Oh man,
That's probably a long one, but it's a good answer.
I've been in the game, like I said, man. I've been robbed like crazy, dude. Like I've had people put guns to my head, bro. I've been picked up and dropped off in another city and with no shirt, no shoes, like in the middle of the night, like crazy stuff like that, dude. I've had people try to jump me and stuff like that. This whole freaking it's just nuts, man. And this Hollywood stuff too. Like I've had where I've invested hundreds of dollars into a party and nobody showed up. You know what I'm saying?
Ugh.
It hurt. It sucked, dude. I've had girls like flake on me, and when they flake on me, it feels like you're getting stood up. I've had girls cuss me out. You know what I'm saying? And all I do is look out for them. And it just like I always just want to see the glasses halfway full. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't live on this earth forever. Like there's 365 days in a year. Times that by 10, that's 3,650 days. You know what I'm saying? And then times that by like maybe 6 or 7. That's what you got, dude. If you live to your 80 or 90 or 100 years old, you calculate those days. Man, that's not even a lot of days, bro. You know what I'm saying? And it's just every day counts, every day matters and stuff. So like, just always people say I'm a pushover, and people walk all over me all the time and stuff too. And they say, like you gotta stand up for yourself and more. But the fact that I'm always getting up every single day and just like doing and pursuing my dreams and just fucking like going hard and stuff like that, and just I don't give a shit what people think about me and stuff. I'm cool with that, man. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like I've overcome a lot of crazy stuff. Like I could write a book, man. I'm telling you, dude. Yeah.
Well, we'll do another podcast just on that. That's a great answer though, man. Right? Just whatever happens, get back up and keep fucking going. I love that. All right, so one more question, then we'll plug everything and get you out of here. Okay, so would you rather get sacked by Aaron Donald once a week, every week for a year, or have to fight 10 angry chickens every time you go to use your car for a year. And why?
10
What
angry chickens.
which
10
one?
I can survive 10 angry chickens. That's fine, dude. You know, like, I'll practice on my footwork or something. I'm still like, I'm okay. I'm pretty healthy, you know, like a good month of conditioning, I'm good. But Aaron Donald can kill me with one hit, dude. Like, don't mess around with that guy. Like that's another dude. Oh my gosh, man. Like hopefully I'll meet him. I'll tell you how big that guy is. But man, just yeah, and even seeing him do like just I'm a small dude. One hit from him, brain damage, you know. So thank you, dude.
That's a great answer. All right, so we'll get you out of here with this. So he is at Lamont with a 0, LAM0 NT562. What do you want to plug, man? What do you got going on this season? Where can people find you, get a hold of you, get into your leagues? Whatever, the floor is yours. Whatever you want to say.
Well, you can hit me up on Twitter, LAM0MC562, as Johny said. Dynasty Vipers, please support Dynasty Vipers like crazy. Uh, they work hard, you know, and we're up and coming and stuff like that. Like I don't know if you guys know Tara. She's I think her last name is Roberts. She came from Dynasty Vipers, you know, like she had like 50 followers and stuff when she first joined us, and then we blew her up, you know. Now she's part of like so many other things and stuff too, like Fantasy Pros and I don't know. She's constantly busy. We have so many talented people who are part of that. Support IDP guys. You know, like I'm gonna start doing stuff for you guys eventually. I'm just so busy, but you offered for me to start writing for you guys, and hopefully I'll start coming up with a series, an annual series for you guys. I'll create some time for it because practice makes perfect. You know what I'm saying? Like the better, the more I do, the better I'll get at it.
Yeah.
Support me in Hollywood, man, because like if you support me in Hollywood, like I will literally invest all my energy and all my profits and funds to start doing more stuff that will help everyone, like in so many different ways. I'm talking about music. I'm talking about and but mainly fantasy. You know, like I want to create a fantasy sports bar one day. You know, like in this like one corner is going to be fantasy football, two corners are going to be fantasy football, one corner is going to be fantasy basketball, another corner is going to be fantasy baseball, something like that. You know, we're gonna have a room that's like just like podcast, a podcast room and stuff like that. Like I just support me in Hollywood, help me with this new party that I'm doing, and then you know we'll continue from there, you know, and then I'll keep dropping gems on Twitter too, so you guys can like judge me of my bad takes. You know, that's where it all starts off, right? You know, like Twitter and stuff. So if you could do that, but that's basically it, dude. You know.
Awesome. Well, thank you for coming on, my friend. It was worth the last 5 months of shenanigans to get this done. So
Yeah,
much appreciated.
yeah, I appreciate you too, bro. Because like, literally, man, other people would have given up like a couple months ago. They would have been like, dude, f you, man. Just screw this. Let's just hey, maybe how about in 2023? But you every single time you said no problem, dude. Okay, and like I said, dude, like I'm so glad I meet people like you because you're just so positive and so patient with people that I learned this stuff. You know, I try to use it as well, and I'm getting better at it. You know, so I appreciate you, dude, for sure.
No worries, brother. Appreciate you. Thank you for coming on. We'll see you guys in November when I get a week off from work. Until then, have a great season, everyone. Take care. Bye bye.
Bye.